So the last topic that we discussed, electricity, that was the end of conventional source of energy. Now we proceed with the second one, that is non-conventional source of energies. So we have seen that the dependency of our country has increased by utilizing petrol, coal, electricity, natural gas. But as the population is increasing, that is not sufficient. Side by side, conventional source of energy, they are not eco-friendly. So looking at the demand, government has to find some alternative. And finally, they come up with non-conventional source of energy to meet the demand. Under this, we are going to learn 4-5 non-conventional source of energies one by one. Already the difference between conventional and non-conventional we have learned in previous videos. Now we'll begin with the first non-conventional source of energy, that is atomic, or we can say nuclear energy. Atomic energy is produced by altering the structure of the atom, that is by modifying the structure of the atom, and from that huge or tremendous energy is produced, which is utilized for producing electricity, we can say. Normally atomic energy is produced from uranium and thorium. Uranium and thorium we find in states like Jharkhand and Rajasthan. In Rajasthan especially, Aravalli hills are rich in thorium and uranium. Another important thing is the sand, the monazite sand that is found in Kerala, it is having a good quantity of thorium in it. So from that it is purified and further used to produce nuclear energy. Second non-conventional source of energy is solar energy. Generally it is having great potential in India. The latest upcoming, what we can say, in the last 20 years we have seen government is trying to develop more and more solar energy in our country. States like Gujarat and Rajasthan, they are having great potential to develop solar energy. Why? They are eco-friendly. That is, they do not pollute or harm the nature. Because of solar energy, our dependency on conventional source of energy like coal, firewood, dung cake has reduced, and especially the rural area peoples, they are shifting to solar energy. Even in city also it has started, but rural area people are using solar energy in maximum number. By using solar energy, even the electricity bill, which used to be high, now it has reduced a lot. Even the new buildings that are constructed in the cities, they have solar rooftop, due to which the maintenance cost for electricity and the lighting in the building, that is incurred in the maintenance, and that maintenance totally is dependent on the solar energy. The initial cost of installing solar power station is there, but once it is installed, later on we can say zero maintenance cost or minimum maintenance cost is incurred. As I said previously, state like Gujarat and Rajasthan, they have great potential to develop this solar energy, and if it is developed 100%, the development of these two states we cannot imagine. The power cut that we have on certain days in a week, that can be minimized. Third form of non-conventional source of energy is wind energy. As we have discussed about the solar, wind energy is also having a great future in India. A large cluster of wind energy is seen in Tamil Nadu from Nagarcoil to Madurai. As solar energy is eco-friendly, similarly wind energy is also eco-friendly. Only the initial installation charge is high, but once it is installed, the maintenance is quite low, or we can say zero. Nagarcoil and Jaisalmer, these are the two areas or the place which are using wind energy very efficiently and effectively. It matters a lot. Why? Many times we have the resource but we do not utilize it properly. But these two places, they are utilizing in the best manner. The place where generally wind energy plants we see are Gujarat, Rajasthan, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, Maharashtra and Lakshadweep. These places windmill are installed by the government. The fourth non-conventional source of energy is biogas. We all are familiar with this biogas. Normally, the biogas is produced with the help of shrubs, farm waste, animal and human waste. From all these things, we get the biogas. Gobar gas plant. Many times in objective question, they ask what is Gobar gas plant for 1 marks. So keep in mind, when it is Gobar gas means only Gobar, that is the energy that is produced by using waste of animals. Only the waste of animals. That's why the name is given Gobar gas. But in biogas, all the waste are used. As we have learned, nuclear energy eco-friendly, solar eco-friendly, wind eco. Similarly, biogas is also eco-friendly. Almost we can say all the non-conventional, they are eco-friendly. If you don't know any topic about them, at least this one is the one which you can write and get at least 1 mark if it is of 3 or 5 marks. By using biogas, it is cheaper and the pollution that was created by firewood and cow dung, it has reduced, and even the energy that is produced by biogas is far more and better than them. Our farmers, they have the tendency of burning the cow dung cakes, but now the scientists or people say we should not burn the cow dung cakes. Why? The reason is they have the twin benefit for the farmers. Benefit number 1, they get energy which is used for domestic purpose, and second one is good quality of manure, because when you burn the cow dung, the microorganisms which increase the fertility of the soil, they are destroyed when it is burned. So if we do not burn, they are protected. So when we mix the gobar gas with the soil, they get mixed in that and the soil fertility increases. So it is advisable not to burn the cow dung cakes or the gobar. Tidal energy, that is the fifth form of non-conventional source of energy. Again, as we discussed previously, it's eco-friendly, that is, do not harm the nature. It's one of the very good source of energy that we get from the nature without incurring more cost. It is produced with the help of the ocean tides. Okay, generally when the big tides comes, the door is closed. So because of that, the waves keeps on moving and the blade moves, and due to that the tidal energy is produced. Normally the tidal energy plants or production house we can say in areas like Gulf of Khambat, Gulf of Kutch, Gangetic deltas which are found in West Bengal, that is the largest delta, Ganga Brahmaputra. There we find the tidal energy. Geothermal energy, the last non-conventional source of energy, that is geothermal energy. What we understand from this word? It means the heat and electricity that we get from the interior of the earth. यानी वो बिजली या एनर्जी जो हमें मिलती है किसके कारण? पृथ्वी के अंदर जब हीट बढ़ता जाता है तो जो ऊर्जा हमें मिलती है उसे हम जियोथर्मल एनर्जी कहते हैं. The reason why we are able to produce geothermal energy is the hotness or the heat inside the earth is increasing, and because of that we are in a position to produce geothermal energy. There are many hot springs found in India, but right now we have started 2 projects on the experimental basis, and if we are successful then government will implement further. So those 2 projects are, the first one is in Parvati Valley we have Manikarn project, that is in Himachal Pradesh. This is one of the project, and the second project which is situated is in Poga Valley, which is in Ladakh. Recently Ladakh is made as the union territory of our country. So these are the 2 projects which is going right now, and if it is successful we will be setting up many more such geothermal power station in different part of our country. And as I said, geothermal energy is 100% eco-friendly. So here we end up with the various source of non-conventional source of energy. Finally, we come to the conclusion of the chapter, and a very important topic also which is asked in the board. So here I have written both the question. In twisted form they ask, energy saved is energy produced, or in a simple way, why there is a need or desire to conserve energy resource. The question is asked either for 3 marks or 5 marks in examination. So let's begin and end up the chapter. So the first point is more and speedy development. Okay, if we have the energy, conventional source of energy, then the development of a nation will be faster. More the conventional source and non-conventional source of energy we have, the more speedy and faster will be the development of that country. So if we want this continuous and unstoppable development, we need to conserve this energy. Now, what are the ways how we can conserve energy? Step number 1. What we see normally in our life, people are traveling using their personal vehicle, that is the two-wheelers, four-wheelers. So if a family is going somewhere, car is good. But there are four bikes and individual is using individual bike, which can be done in one car. So when we are going outside, we should use public transport. So with the same energy, many people can move from one place to another. Second one is by using power saving devices. Now in the market, when we talk about AC, fridge, fans, all these are such devices now which are star rated, 3 star, 5 star. So now we should use such type of devices which conserve energy. Then one of the good habit that we all need to inculcate in us is when there is no need of light and fan, we should switch off light and fan when we move out of our room or of our office. That maybe for 2 minutes, 5 minutes, this unit will be of great use for us and for the entire nation. Next, stress on non-conventional source of energy. In place of conventional source of energy, we should be using more numbers of conventional source of energy because they are eco-friendly and their cost of maintenance is minimum. Then those devices which consume more power, or we can say high power, such devices should be used very less or when need is there. For example, air conditioner during the summer season. So we are not saying we should not utilize, but the whole day it should not be utilized. For certain hours it is good. Similarly, during the winter season, especially in Western countries, room heater is used. So such high consuming gadgets should be minimized and we can conserve the energy.